So, what's up, guys? This is Outlaw Window Cleaner Radio, the original. Often imitated, often duplicated, but never as awesome as this one. So, I'm here with my buddy Mark, as usual, because no one else likes us, and we don't give a shit. We were just talking about for 23 minutes. We talked about Mark's Pure Water, because we do this every time we get into Skype chat, and that's what I don't think a lot of guys are missing here, is that me and Mark are always back and forth talking about something, and when we get together, we just start fucking talking, and it doesn't stop.
Yeah, but look, TJ.
Yeah,
it keeps it, at least to me, I would think it keeps it not boring. We got something good
we
to
always
see.
got something to talk about every time.
You know, so yeah, it's all good.
You look different.
What's going
today.
on in your world?
You look different. You look different today. Did you shave? Are you freshly shaven?
I got a haircut.
Oh, okay.
And,
I was going to say, you're looking sexier than normal. You know what I mean?
Oh, sexy.
Sexual white chocolate over there has got himself a haircut.
We did a job that we do quarterly for one of my furniture stores, and it has a southeast exposure. So I have to tell you, dude, it felt like we were working in the desert. When did we do that? Wednesday. Yesterday. It was so freaking hot. I mean, I know people say hot in Texas and everything else, and I don't want to hear about dry heat and damp heat. I mean, dude, I got to this job at 7 a.m., and you got to get the entryway done with the lift first because they won't let you block the entryway. And then the rest, we use combination water-fed pole ladders, the whole 9 yards. And my guys showed up because I sent them to do something else, and I had the lift work done and pretty much the whole front of the building done. And they showed up, and they're like, I'm like, you got the curtain wall in the corner, which I would do that with the water-fed. And what are you going to do? I'm going inside in the AC to do what I
Hey, it's supposed to be like fucking 100 degrees here tomorrow, you know, and we get it. And that's the heat index. That's with humidity, you know, because it's kind of humid here. I mean, it's most likely way more humid where you're at, but, you know.
It's usually 70% humidity here.
Okay.
Sometimes.
Right.
It's
so
bad.
Tomorrow we got 3 big houses to do. 2 of them are inside now. The first 2 are inside now. Kind of like what I showed you the other day. I posted on Instagram, that house I did Monday. That really big bitch with the glass balustrades.
Yep.
Well, I'm doing another one tomorrow that's got 2 stories. It has a top widow's peak, like a widow's walk around the top with a with glass banisters around it, and that's 3 stories in the air, and then the second floor is got another glass balustrade around it. So it's like this, yeah. So my plan is to make Jeremy work outside in the fucking heat all day, and I am going to work inside in the air conditioning. Complete douchebag.
I mean, I'll tell you, the summer's here early for us. We get rain every day in the afternoon around 3 o'clock, and it'll rain for a couple hours, sometimes a half hour. And then at that point, locally, I usually in the summer try to get my work done and be headed home at that time because it's just unbearable.
I have a question. You know, how does that work with like your customers? It raining every fucking day. Are they cool? Is it just like norm and they're like, okay, that's just part of it?
Well, here's what we do. If we have, sometimes we'll have a week of rain, and it'll literally rain from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And what I do is we will go to our car dealerships and do interior petitions, interior work. They see you're making an attempt. They're cool with it. Anything with an overhang gets done. I imagine that would be more of an issue with residential, you know?
Yeah, well, residential for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean,
commercial contracts are probably all the same. You know, everyone's like, you know, he was here.
Well, no, it's one of 2 things, TJ. It's either, it's one of 2 things. Their attitude is, we do my building, you know, twice a year, and you're going to wash it in the rain, you know, or it's, you know, no, we understand, you know, just do it when you can, and then we get backed up. But I lost 10 days last month from rain, you know, and it took 20 days to catch up, you know.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you got to do your catch-up work and your regular work at the same time. So, yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, a couple buddies of mine that are, local window cleaners, "Oh my God, what are you doing? You must be dying." I go, "Nah." I said, "We're doing interiors." I sent the guys. They spent 5 hours inside of a Whole Foods doing stuff that was due.
Right.
But they're not touching the outside. And then
I can tell you from my experience with the stuff that I do, it's the insides are always the dirty part. The outside's usually the clean part. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and the inside you got to deal with people, and that's usually okay, but sometimes it sucks. I mean, some customers are a pain in the ass. But
I have a question that's kind of been nagging at me for a while. When you say wet work, the work that you like when you called it wet work, the work that has to be done before customers arrive. Why do you call it wet work? Can I know?
That's what an old timer told me.
And I don't stuck with you. And okay.
It's called a wet job because you got to go there at a specific time. Does that make any sense? Absolutely not. But
right.
I told it in, that's what I was told.
Yeah, I'm just repeating shit I heard once.
I can't. I have thought about that, and I've never really come up with a good answer for it. But it's just what I mean, a lot of guys here call them time stops. A time stop is obviously you got to be there before or a certain time.
Okay.
I mean, I know a guy that moved down, and he's so aggressive with selling. He's the kind of guy that he goes in until they throw him out. They're like, just don't come back anymore. Leave me alone. And I tell him it's not the way to go. You're going to get work, but you're going to wear someone out into washing windows. And as soon as the budget gets tight, you're gone. You put them into it. I'm more used to people calling me or coming out to me, and then you got them,
I got fired yesterday, dude.
Really? What happened?
I do this lady's house. I've been doing her house for a while, and well, not a while, about a year, 2 years. Yeah, 2 years. She introduced me to some other folks that I started doing their windows too. Well, she called the June 11th, wanted her windows cleaned in a week because she's gonna have a house sprayed for spiders. I'm like, okay. So it got pushed back a couple days because of rain. Then he came and did the windows. And normally how we do it is I call her or I text her the night before. I've never met this woman in person in 2 years. I text her the night before. She leaves the check on the door. I clean the windows. I leave. She texts me when she gets home. They look beautiful. We get a same thing, repeat. I do her her gutters. I do her gutters when they're frozen like stiff solid. I gotta thaw them out to get the shit out of them. You know what I mean? Because she waits till the absolute last possible second for every leaf to fall out of every tree in the entire universe before she wants her gutters cleaned. Well, her friend called that she introduced me to, and she's like, "Terry, I need to get my windows cleaned. When can you get me in?" And I'm like, "Well, I can get you in after the 4th. I've got, my schedule's full." Well, she's like, "Well," I was like, I gave her a date. It was 2 weeks out. She's like, "Well, really, I need something about 3 weeks out." So we scheduled her 3 weeks out because she'll be out of town. Well, she went to yoga and talked to the lady that called me on June 11th, and she said, "Oh, Terry gave me a date," but didn't tell her what day. She just said Terry gave me a date, and this woman got mad at me. She's like, "I talked to so-and-so at yoga today, and she said that you gave her a date already, and you need to give me one." And I'm like, "Well, I planned on cleaning your windows tomorrow. We do, well, this is the way we've always done it, is I text you the night before, you leave the check on the door, and, whatever's whatever, And she's just like, "Well, I already made other arrangements." Well, if you already made other arrangements, then you know what I mean? Seriously? For real? That's, you know what I mean? After 2 years of service, that's the way you're going to do me? All right, that's cool, man. And I guess I could see it. I see it from her side as well. You know what I mean? But my only problem with the whole thing is we've been doing it this way this whole time. I've never given you a date. I always text you the night before, and I go and do it. I do it on the cheap. Because you're a nice lady, you got me more work, so you always get the homie hookup deal. I bang your windows out in an hour, and then I'm out of there. You know what I mean? And it's worked that way for 2 years, and now all of a sudden, I just think she had a bad day. And I texted her, I told her what I used the Mark Tanner philosophy, and I said, "That's fine, I understand. I appreciate the work. If you'd like, don't be afraid to call me. If your other guy falls through or you don't like the way he does it, call me, and I'll come clean your windows."
Yep.
So
yeah,
I said,
exactly.
I'll pick service back up with you just as soon as you want me to. I value you as a customer. So you know what I'm going to do, Mark? I'm going to refund her half of her last job. I'm going to send her a $75 cashier's check.
Well,
just because there was one gutter on the back of her house in December, the first week of December last year is when I cleaned her gutters. Completely frozen solid. They're they're about 32, 33 feet in the air. About 33 feet in the air is how high they are. So, and it's over a deck, and it's cold, it's icy. I can't stick a ladder on a fucking deck. You know what I mean? It's not the safest thing to do. It's just not smart. So I was like, let me come back. I'll give you. I was like, don't pay me. She's like, no, I insist. I'm gonna leave the check on the door. Come and finish what you can, and we'll go from there. So I did. I took the check, and I think I'm just gonna give her half the money back. I think that's the right thing to do, because that gutter never got cleaned, and now she doesn't want me to go and clean her windows. You know what I mean? I was gonna give her a whole gutter cleaning for free just because she was cool about me not doing it. And it's only about 15 feet of gutter. It's not a whole lot, but still, I feel like an asshole now.
No, you're not an asshole, and a lot of guys would have handled it. There's not a right way or a wrong way. You don't know what's going through her head and why she made that decision. And I think you did the right thing. When you say, I wouldn't say your other guy. I would just say, if you made a decision that you feel might not be in your best interest, don't hesitate to call me back, because I'd love to work for you again.
Right.
That way you're not bashing the competition.
Okay.
And not that you said anything wrong. You know what I'm saying? You didn't say
still, it could be construed that way. I'm just like, I feel shitty. You know what I mean? It's like, damn, man. I feel like I dropped the ball, even though I'm not doing anything differently than I ever have before with this customer. But now it's kind of makes me leery about the other two customers that she turned me on to. It's like, man, am I going to lose these two people now because the yoga buddies?
That all depends on what happens at yoga, buddy.
Right. Apparently, you know what I mean? I've never had to deal with anything like that before. You know what I mean? But all I can do is go to that lady's house on the 18th of July and fucking do the same job I always do, which is one she always tips $100 for. So, if I don't get the $100, I'll know something's up.
I wouldn't be so for money. Not that that's not a great gesture. I would call her up and say, listen, Mrs. Newsbaum, you're not happy with what I did for you here. You're not happy with what I did here, and I understand your frustration. I'm a small company, and sometimes scheduling can be an issue. What can I do to get your business back? You want me to clean your gutter? How about this? The next cleaning, I'm not going to charge you to do your gutters, and we'll have better communication in the future. That's it. Leave it up to her, and that way you did what you could to save the job,
right. Okay.
And sometimes handing the money back, maybe she's, well, he's guilty because he fucking beat me up on this. Just go back.
Right.
I want to make it right. What's it going to take to make it right?
I was thinking, it was suggested maybe you just write her a voucher for a free cleaning. You know what I mean?
Do that. You can do that, but it's much more personal in a conversation. Whether you're in her face, which would be
I've never talked to this woman on the phone. It's always been through text message. So it'd be awkward.
Let me ask you another question then.
Okay.
How good are you at yoga?
I suck
Can
at
you get
yoga.
into yoga
Have you seen? Come on, that's a ridiculous question, sir. You might as well ask me if I've seen Bigfoot. I mean, come on, bro.
Squat down next to Mrs. Newsbaum.
Newsbaum. Yeah, Mrs. Newsbaum. I have to.
Excuse me, Mrs. Newsbaum. I'm collecting air right now, but I need to talk to you about your gutters.
I got a belly of white dog. I got a belly full of white dog shit. You're gonna spring this on me? Now I'm fired.
I'll tell you what, man. Look, you can't, you can't keep them all happy, and you keep them as long as you can. I mean,
I've got this.
Let me ask you a question real quick.
Okay.
Because I've never experienced this, and I don't think the only gutters I've ever cleaned have been mine in my own home, or if I did on a rare occasion cleaned a roof, I blow the gutters out with the gun. I just blow it out on the grass, and then we pick it up. How do you thaw out a gutter?
With steam.
Like a steam pressure washer or hot water?
Yeah, well, I use a steam machine.
Really?
Yeah, I just steam it.
It takes a while though, right?
Not really. It's this dealio that my cousin's got. It's for de-icing and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, your cousin has that tool rental place, right?
Yeah. And I just use that. But sometimes, dude, honestly, this is what's funny about this. Is this house, and anybody that cleans gutters on a regular knows what I'm talking about. I know if Tim was here, he'd know what I was talking about. The gutters are plugged up because they're full of pine needles, and then the pine needles and water is like fucking. It might as well be reinforced like rebar and concrete. It might as well be that.
You ever know? I know that because they weave themselves together, and you take it out, and it's a fucking rug, you know? Yeah.
Dude, I'm just, I, as much as I like the steady work, you know what I mean, and she's such a nice lady and turned me on to other people, dude, I mean, I pulled her gutter guard out of her gutters. She had the foam triangle stuff. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but oh my God. The open part where it's supposed to be open on the front side of the gutter there is just like caked to the top. It was just a big brick.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. I used to have a shingle roof on my house, and before the hurricanes, I had 70 pine trees in my yard. Oh. So my gutters were always clogged. And then you have the granules from the shingle roof, okay? And dude, I would go up there, and it would be a challenge to see if I could pull out 15 feet in one piece. You know what I'm saying? It would weave itself together. And I'd chuck it onto the yard. It looked like a fucking science experiment, you know?
That's crazy, man.
Yeah. But
you'd think the pine trees would like shelter your house from the hurricane a little bit. The winds would kind of calm down, you know. I mean, that's pretty much all pine trees are good for besides ornaments.
Dude, I've seen some of our pine trees that are 50 foot tall and a foot in diameter at their skinniest point, bending 45 degrees in a hurricane. And like,
dude, I've never experienced anything like that in my life. So,
dude, and then when it snaps, it sounds like a bomb went off. You know, I mean, it's so loud. But here's the thing. You guys have tornadoes, right?
Occasionally, more water spots than anything.
See, tornadoes. They send up sirens, right, when they're coming. So you get a little bit of time. With a hurricane, dude, we know 24 hours, 48 hours if it's headed our way, and you prepare for it. And the thing with a tornado is it can come rip your shit up, and it's gone in 5 minutes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The problem with a hurricane is when they hit land, they stall, okay? They start to lose power, but you can literally get pounded with 80 to 100 mile an hour winds for 10 to 12 hours nonstop.
Jesus, man.
Yeah.
We had a tornado back in 96, touched down about a quarter mile from the house, and it ran down this stretch of road here for about 2 or 3 miles. And we were standing in the front yard, and I saw it. You know what I mean? Before I got to the house, you know, we were running like fucking freaking out. You know, we had just jumped out of the car. We were freaking out.
Yeah.
And, I turned to my right, and there it is. That's crazy, but I cannot imagine 12 hours of 100 mile an hour wind. That's got to be.
Usually it'll be constant 50 or 60 miles an hour, and then you'll get the gusts to 100, but it's nonstop for 10 to 12 hours, and then the eye comes over, dude, and it's like beautiful weather. You can go outside for an hour, and there's not a bird, a cloud, anything in the sky, and the only thing nice about the hurricanes is, for here, they drag away all the humidity and the heat. It's like almost like our winter, you know. And then you got to watch out because it's going to come back because you're in the eye of the storm. And the eye of the storm could be 50, 60 miles across. So if it's moving 5 miles an hour, you can figure out the time.
Right.
And then the storm's going to hit you again, but the wind's going to go the opposite way because you're getting the backside of the storm. And that's when shit gets messed up because it's been torqued one way, for 12 hours.
Now it's going to go the other way. Dude, that's wild. I never even thought of that, dude.
Yeah, it's and then business in window cleaning practically shuts down for at least 3 weeks because and they've improved South Florida so much, our power company has and stuff. But I mean, literally, people will be in line for gasoline for their generators, and there'll be fights, and they'll ration it, and you get 10 gallons, and it gets nasty, and people, that, like I said, the nice thing about the hurricane is you prepare for it. I'll usually get about 75 gallons of fuel and put it up in the shop. I can run my entire house on a generator, including central air. And, you're just batting stuff down and then it's a waiting game,
Right.
and,
right.
It's, going through it many, many times, it's not that you get used to it, but it's not frightening. But people that come down here, I had a kid working for me, never seen a hurricane. I mean, he's throwing a party. He's jumping up and down and laughing, and I can't wait. And I'm going, yeah, you wait till you see what this shithole looks like tomorrow. It looks like a war zone,
Right, yeah.
But it also brings people together. Neighbors help each other.
Right.
You do what you can. You share.
Dude, nothing like that happens here. It's either hot or it's cold here.
Yeah.
We don't really get snow anymore like we used to. The only thing it does is rain and storm here, thunderstorms. That's all we get here.
About 10 years ago, we had Francis and Jean back to back. So literally, I had a newborn at home. Okay. We got plowed by a hurricane. I live in a rural area where the power company doesn't care to fix my street because there's only 5 houses, but they go to the communities where they can fix a line and get 1,000 homes in one shot. So we're like the redheaded stepchild. So literally and at that time, we didn't have a whole house generator. So, I'm running little window units. We're keeping one room cool. We're all hanging out in there, keep a refrigerator going. And it's like, they finally get us back up online after 15, 18 days. And then the next week we get pummeled again. Okay. For another 2 weeks. And that's when I said, you know what? We're going with the whole house generator and we will prepare. And so, like I said, it's kind of an adventure, but it sucks.
So you've got one of those Generac type deals on the side of your house?
Yeah.
Just fucking...
Yeah, well, I keep it in my shop, and then I keep it in I have a shipping container. I keep it with all my window cleaning tools. And then what I'll do is I backfeed it through the shop so we don't have to hear it in the house. So it literally comes into here. And then you just plug it in, flip a switch, and the whole house is ready to go.
Shit.
Yeah, but it's not very efficient. It'll suck down 8 to 10 gallons of fuel, about a gallon an hour. So you better be prepared with 75 gallons of fuel, and nobody likes to store that much fuel. It's not safe.
Right.
But look, you figure things out. I remember it was in 2004. We got hammered for the second time, and I grabbed a 55-gallon drum, threw it in the back of my truck, and went up to Port St. Lucie 2 hours away because I knew they had power and they had they were able to pump fuel. That's the problem is when the gas stations don't get power, they can't pump fuel. And plus the deliveries are slow because the traffic lights are down. So anyway, I drive into Port St. Lucie and I pull this 55-gallon drum to the edge of the truck, and I reach over, and a lady comes out and she goes, "You sure you think you're going to be filling that whole thing up?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And a guy goes to me, "Where did you come from?" I said, "Palm Beach." And he goes, "You drove all the way up here for gas?" I go, "It's either drive an hour and a half, 2 hours in my air-conditioned truck, right? Or sit in line, 10 gallons, and fight with some asshole that is putting gasoline in a water in a gallon water jug,
right?
So I go to the lady. I think it was dude, it was like $150 to fill a 55-gallon drum. So she started telling me that's not a fuel-approved container. You can't do that. And as I'm pumping it, So I stop what I'm doing. I jump down out of the bed of the truck, and I hand her $300. I said, this is going to cost somewhere between $250 and $260 to fill this tank. I might forget to come get my change. She just kind of grinned. I filled my tank, and down the road I went,
right.
you know.
Money talks, man. Money talks, dude.
Oh yeah. But no, it's an experience. It's they say we're going to have an active season.
Yeah, we used to have really bad snowstorms here. I mean, we had a snowstorm about, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago. I was out digging people out of their houses for like 16 hours, man. We were from morning from dawn till dusk, essentially. Yeah. Just all day.
I believe.
Plowing. Snow blowing. It was the worst fucking shit ever, dude. Snow sucks, but it's cool to get. It's cool when it's falling, but after it's all fell, it fucking sucks.
Well, here, after a hurricane, a week to 10 days, 15 days, you won't really be washing any windows, depending on how much damage is out there. And like I said, look, our state has implemented a lot of things. All of our grocery stores now have backup generators where they can run all the registers and keep the coolers going. Most of the gas stations here now have big, giant generators behind them so they could pump fuel. So it's much better than it used to be. And people prepare differently. But I can tell you this, window cleaning stopped for about 3 weeks. And now I got, several employees that need the paycheck and there's no money coming in. Okay. And then it's like, we got to go out and clean these people up. And because we have palm trees get this fibrous, I call it fibrous debris, but it's basically around the palm fronds is all this fibers. Okay. Uh-huh. Those things, that stuff sticks to everything and it's like glue, Uh-huh. So that's the times I break out the old wooden horsehair brush and you clean everything by hand. Don't even bring up the water-fed pole. You ain't touching it. Come on, and bro. The only thing that takes it off, you have a choice.
You don't have enough experience.
That's probably what it is.
You don't have enough experience to know that water-fed pole is awesome, bro.
Oh, yeah, they're great.
It'll strip whatever that fibrous substance is. I've never even seen it before, and I can tell you just because I've got more experience.
I'm gonna put this on, and so you'll have it. If we get a hurricane this season, I will pay for your flight to come to Florida, stay with me.
Yeah.
And I will pay you an hourly rate to come work with me afterwards, and you'll be throwing rocks at me by the end of the day.
Listen, I'm flying down with my constructor brush bronze, and I'll show you what's what.
Hey, I'm going to tell you something.
What's up?
So I saw people complaining about their gunslinger leaking on their legs. Okay. Now, I'm not saying about a stitch issue. What I'm saying is someone like me that has never worn a bucket on a belt consistently or anything like that, the wet leg syndrome is new to me. Okay. Now, I did find that I noticed if I got in this habit of dipping my mop in there, putting it in the gunslinger, rattling it around, grabbing more water, and it would splash here and there. And then someone put a post up, which was very smart, said, put a sponge in the bottom. I thought that was
Richie.
But here's what I did. You know those blue Scotch-Brite pads? You can get them in white, but I like the blue ones. They sell them at Home Depot. They're like 4 by 5 inches. If you fold that in half and throw it in the bottom of the gunslinger, it's like this. TJ, you ever put your bucket of water in the back of your truck without any tools in it, and you get to where you're going and there's no water in the bucket?
Yeah. All the time, bro. All the time. There's always that one asshole that jams on their brakes and everything goes.
If you put a mop and squeegee in that bucket, you got all your water. Well, it's the same thing with the gunslinger. So I keep a blue scrubby pad folded up in half in there. And then I found this little square car wash sponge. It's got like a netting on the outside. And I usually just keep that in my bucket, and I threw that in the bottom of the gunslinger. And I don't have that issue anymore.
See,
if it's overfilled.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. If you're mindful, and you don't want to splash, just make sure that the water level is kind of lower, because it retains so much water. You know what I mean? It's gonna, if you're walking and you don't have it, if you don't move it on your hip, it will knock some water out of it. I've noticed that. I just tip a little water out after I wet my mop. I let it sit there for a second. I get my towels ready. I open it up, open the reservoir up, dip a little bit, tip a little water out into my bucket, and I'm good to go. The thing is, I think what I think the issue is people is having is when the mop is going, because not everyone stores the mop the same way. Some guys still store it up next to their body in that small compartment instead of the big compartment. And I like the bigger compartment because I hate I'm chubby. I don't like my side getting wet. You know what I mean? That shit sucks.
Well, here's the thing.
Your shirt gets stained. And the thing is when they stick the washer in there, the water runs down that angle and into that seam, and then that seam, it travels all the way down the leg, and it gets the back of the gunslinger wet, and the bottom starts to drip. Yeah. It's not you know what I mean? So from what I understand, I've talked to Richie. I'm very certain they have found the issue, and I've found a solution to correct that. So that's kick ass. So,
well, I'll tell you what. I started because you had told me the mop goes in the lower chamber.
It doesn't necessarily have to, but
but I did notice because I use 22-inch tools. That mop will hit me in the armpit, and that gets annoying when you crouch down. So. But then I started, keep looking over to make sure I'm putting everything in the right place. And then I, one time, just accidentally had the mop and squeegee in my hand and just jammed it down in there into the lower section. And then I'm like, you know what? There is no rhyme or reason the way I have to be using this.
No.
And so now I don't even look. It just goes right
wherever.
in.
Yeah. That's the same thing I do, dude. Wherever it goes, it's going.
Here's the funny thing. I have two work belts. Mm-hmm. One has a sewn-on pouch, like a regular carpenter's
pouch. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. A contractor's pouch, and I use that for glass restoration because I'll keep extra abrasives, polish, and my supplies in there. And I did one today, and I forgot my my little pouch. It was in the box with all my shit. And long story short, I had my gunslinger, and I'm like, you know what? And it held my squirt bottle, it held my polish, it held.
Had your little sippy cup in there too. So when you use that water cup, do you always have a straw in it?
Yeah.
I'm gonna send you I'm gonna send you a dicky straw. I'm gonna send you a straw with a little penis on it.
The sissy stick.
Yeah. Dude,
no.
With anything, I know a lot of guys are, there are some out there that are like, the gunslinger's leaking. Well, it's not really leaking. It's just, an issue, a design issue that just, without a bunch of people using it, you know what I mean? It's not gonna, everyone uses things differently. You know what I'm saying? And until you get a large group, and anything that's been defective or anything, these guys have been pretty fucking good about, send us your gunslinger, here comes another one. You know what I mean? So
if you have an issue with any tool, whether it's a gunslinger or anything else, figure out a way to alter what you're doing so it doesn't happen. Very simple.
Yeah.
You don't have to pitch a fit like a little bitch and cry and piss and moan of how something is better or something needs to be changed. Yeah, get over it, dude.
That's stupid.
Figure it out and move on. And my guys who are not bucket on the belt guys, they see that gunslinger come out and they just look and he goes, "You're really liking that thing." And I'm like, "Dude, I got a spare one in the truck." And they're like, "Man, that thing is just, you don't have to walk back to the bucket." And I go, "Exactly. This old creepy ass ain't walking back to the bucket."
Dude, it's and like I said, I mean, it's not no insider stuff. Everyone kind of knows because Richie and Perry have been in the comments and stuff. They've the things that the guys that have had issues with him, Richie got a hold of those gunslingers. He's taken them apart. He's figured it out, and it's all gravy, man. That's what I like about the way they do things. Especially Perry is like, if something's fucked up, man, he will, he's gonna work the problem until it's fixed. You know what I mean? Some people are like, well, why isn't it fixed before I get it? Because, you're taking something that was fucking handmade in some guy's fucking garage in San Diego, and then like 6 or 8 months later, selling 1,000 of these motherfuckers. You know what I mean? I mean, come on, guys.
Isn't it funny how somebody buys something and then there's an issue with it, whether it's operator error or not? It gets posted and it's immediate piece of shit. It's immediately a piece of shit.
Why did you buy that in the first place?
Yeah, exactly. But hey, I still love using it, and
hey, man, it's kick ass. I like it, so whatever, bro. Mine works perfect.
Those guys talking about those gunslingers. TJ's making money out.
Yeah, I'm making all that money.
I'll tell you what, TJ. Other than Outlaw Window Cleaner, and I started. Here's something that hit me in the head the other day. I posted pictures. Maybe it was when we went to the Keys fishing, or I don't remember. I posted something more personal than I normally do that's not window cleaning related. And I thought to myself, why did I do that for a minute? And the reason is, I'm like, these guys are people that I respect. And if I put this even on my own timeline, I got to hear some fucking asshole debate me about something they know nothing about.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I can't believe you hurt those fish.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I hope you threw that back. No, asshole. I just fought it for an hour. I'm fucking eating it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, man. But, and I know the comments that you got in the Outlaw Window Cleaner group were like, hey, man, hope you're having fun, or, that looks like fun, or when are we taking me fishing, asshole? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's more like a family thing, and I like that, and I could tell you, I don't remember the last time I was on any of the other Facebook window cleaning pages, just because the negativity, the attacking. I mean, it's like, dude, it's like going to that fucking Red Rooster, whatever the fuck it is, with the Trump. Hen.
Oh.
Yeah, the red
hen.
Go to the red hen.
Go to the red hen and get kicked out.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't bite on that shit. I seen you biting on it, man. I see you bite on it on Facebook. You can't. They're luring you in, brother. You can't let them do it. See, I guess I would be a libertarian, if anything. I'm more of a states' rights kind of guy. I'm not into big government and all that bullshit. Yeah. Unfortunately, the fucking media nowadays kind of runs everyone's fucking opinions about everything. You know what I'm saying? Now it's always about, what they seen on Facebook, or it doesn't have to be true. And it's both sides, you know what I mean? It doesn't,
I'm just over it, dude.
I'm saying, bullshit. I'm a small business guy. I run a small company, and I can assure you that I do not know why, but I am taking double the calls I have in the in the last couple years. This summer has been the busiest summer I think I've had in probably 8 years. I mean, seriously, I'm not kidding. I mean,
dude, we don't need to get political, but we don't need to get political.
We can get whatever the fuck we want.
Yeah, I'm gonna
anybody but Hillary, blow me. I don't care what anybody thinks about that. I don't care. Be mad.
I have a customer, my largest customer, I would say, is building 30 plus new showrooms. And so if you don't, and I asked them, how you guys doing? They said, well, some increases went out, but we're mostly spending our tax savings on showrooms. We're opening over 30 new showrooms. So if you don't believe trickle down works, guess what, dude? I'm the only one that cleans the showrooms. You know what that means for my...
Right, dude. Right, man.
You don't have to be a fucking rocket surgeon to figure that out,
right. Yeah. You don't got to be a rocket doctor to figure that out. I tell you what, man. That same thing with one of the companies, one of the companies that I operate for a chain. They're buying new restaurants left and right. So I'm picking them up as they're, you know what I mean? They're like, can you do this? I'm like, you can buy all of them. I'll do every one of them. Every one that you see, buy it. I'll do it. Whatever you want. I'll choke on your wiener. But before I say stop no more. Yeah. You will find I will have no guy. You gag me with all your work. I want it all. Every down to the balls. I want all your work.
Yeah, look, it's a good. It's a good. You know, the thing is, TJ, it's a good time to be in any industry where you use your hands because trades are lacking. Yep. If you went out and put an ad out to hire people, you would struggle to find them because people don't want to get their hands dirty. So the people that are willing to get their hands dirty are going to do that much better.
I actually had a guy that I worked for when I was in my 20s text me a couple months ago. He's like, dude, I will give you $30 an hour to come back and frame for me. I'm like, no. You know what I mean? He goes, I can't find anybody. I was like, well, I'm not no spring chicken anymore. You know what I mean? I'm not old, but you know, I'm not in building, framing houses shape. I'm more of like knocking houses down shape. You know, you know what I mean? And
I think that would be a fun job.
Oh, dude, it's really fun. It's really rewarding. You know, you get, you know, you're building someone's home they're gonna live in. You know what I mean? Or fixing their home that they live in already. You know what I mean? That shit's cool, man. There's nothing. I mean, it's really gratifying.
I'm sure it is.
But it's tough work. It's not easy. You climbing around, hanging off of shit all the time sucks. You know what I mean? You're always white knuckling. You know, I'm not saying you don't do that with cleaning windows, but you know, man, dude, I'm over it. I'm tired of carrying stacks of 2x4s and bundles of shingles.
I hired a guy one time that was he was a block mason. So for him,
those are rough motherfuckers, boy.
Oh, dude. He laughed. I got to carry that bucket. Okay, he's spinning on his finger.
Right. Hey, I worked for this dude. Not me. My cousin worked for this dude that when he was younger, that he used to tend mortar for this block mason, and if you brought him loose mud and the mud wasn't the way he showed you to do it, he'd throw a fucking brick at you. You know, no bullshit. He'd throw a brick at. He was trying to knock the mortar pedestal out of your hand, but he threw a fucking brick at you. You know, those dudes are rough customers, boy. Concrete,
so
brick, those dudes are extra special, man. Those are some rough dudes.
Well, this guy was a great window cleaner, and his father worked for me, but he just couldn't stay out of trouble. He was one of those kids. It wasn't a kid. You know, he'd come over on Friday, pick up his paycheck, and he would he backed into one of my pine trees, go figure, right? And he had a little Ford Ranger, and he gets up to the gas station, and no, he backs into a pine tree, and I said, Ray, you know, you smash your fucking taillight. There's that amber plastic all over my fucking driveway. I don't care about that, but you can't drive around with a busted taillight. And he goes, I've been going to junkyard and get one. I go, look, here's the address of a place. They sell the aftermarket ones. They'll have it probably $25. Go get it taken care of. Well, money's tight. I go take care of it. I'll give you the money. Right? I give him the money. He comes over, and the bitch goes up to the gas station to buy his 12-pack, and Stop pulls him over. Right? Then they find out he's $5,000 in the rears on his child support.
Oh, damn, boy.
Right? And they lock his ass. They call me, right?
Yeah.
This Royal Palm Beach Police, does so-and-so work for you? Yes. Can you come up to the mobile station and pick up his truck? What happened? He's being arrested. What'd he do? I can't tell you. I go up there, he's in the back of the car. I bring my wife, we drive his truck back to the fucking house. So I got his truck here. And then the next morning, the white trash girlfriend is calling asking for money because he needs to get bailed out. He needs $5,000, right? Mm-hmm. And I go, well, listen, I'm a family man. I'm a father. And if he's not owning up to his responsibilities, I ain't giving you $5,000.
Yeah, fuck him. Yeah, dude. For real, bro. Come on, bro. Fuck you. You're on your own there, buddy.
Yeah, well, to end the story and show you how I got a fucking, was I said, I'll give you a week's pay. But when he gets out, he's got to come work. And I'll spread that over 2 weeks so he gets half a paycheck 1 week. Because I try to be fair.
Right.
And, of course, I give him a week's pay, and I probably never see him again, you know. But, hey, shit happens. You know, you learn your lesson. What the fuck are you going to do?
What are you going to do?
Yeah, what are you going to do? Yeah, I got my fucking loafers on here.
I got my fucking loafers on here. My Gucci loafers and shit.
Yeah. Dude, Perry's making me a Gucci gunslinger. What I'm talking about, bitch. $800.
Man, if that motherfucker... Hey, man, you drop Mark Tanner off of the Everglades, he's going to come out with a fucking elephant trunk shoved up his ass. A pine needle hat and scarf.
I'll tell you what, you go into Everglades, you better know what you're doing, man. But hey, I got a cool story to tell you.
Let's hear it.
I had a kid working for me, one of the best window cleaners you could want. He came fresh out of the Air Force, young kid looking for a job. He was referred to me from a building manager. We hit it off right away, and he was an amateur MMA fighter. Now, this kid, about 5'2", he probably weighed 140 pounds, and he was pretty solid. But he was his specialty was wrestling. Dude, he could throw you to the ground and tie you up at the blink of an eye, you know. And he coached high school wrestling voluntarily. I mean, he was just a good guy. Great window cleaner. We were doing a swing stage job, and I'm up on this balcony on the 10th floor rolling up cables and whatnot, and he's downstairs disassembling the swing stage for the company to come pick it up. And I hear a police siren bam, bam, go off, and then it goes off again, and then it goes off again, and I'm like, somebody's not stopping for the cops, right? So I look over, you know, I'm on the 10th floor. I look across the street, and I see a little white Ford Ranger stop, and a cop pulls up behind him, and as soon as the cop gets out of the car, the Ranger takes off, right? He fucking peels out, and he's going. Right? So it's like watching Cops, but really being there, right?
Right.
So from my vantage point, I could see the whole pursuit. And the guy drives around this bank, okay, and then he jumps out of the truck, and it must have been automatic. He jumped out of the truck and didn't put it in park, and it rolled over the curb stumps and ran into a tree at about 10 miles an hour. And he goes running across the street towards the building I'm working at. Is a 6-lane highway, okay? He looked like Frogger. He's running across the street, and he makes it across the street, right? And I look down, and Jason, he's on the ground disassembling the stage. He has no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
Now, I'm watching this guy because I want to see if he who knows what he was running from, besides, you know, what he had done to run physically from the police. And I was watching to see if he went into the building, right? I'm looking down. I'm watching the cop. Now, the cop is an older police officer, and he's taking his time running across the street so he doesn't get run over, right? I'm watching this guy, and all of a sudden, he's coming towards the building. So I yell down to Jason, hey, that guy's running from the cops. And he goes, what? I go, that guy, he's coming at you. He's running from the cops. So I immediately jump into the elevator and come to the ground floor. And I see the guy circle this way, and Jason is like right over here, trying to, so you can see. He's right over here. The guy's coming around this way, and I go around this way to head him off. And when I get close enough, I see this guy is like 6'5", and he's pretty big, right? Yeah. So the building, dude, the building had these big columns, and it had like, you could go under the building a certain amount. Well, the guy was running around the columns, and Jason, just as I come around the corner, he cuts between the columns, which saved him about 10 feet. And I just see him launch himself, and he body blocks the guy from behind, right? Now, the guy had already been running a quarter mile, so he was tired.
Yeah.
Dude, I come around the corner, and that guy hits the ground like a brick shithouse, right? Dude, you can hear the air come out of him, right? Oh. Right? So Jason is on his back, and the guy goes to throw an elbow, and Jason hooks his arm. Somehow, this guy ended up with one hand between his legs, and Jason was pulling it up this way and had the other arm tied up, right? I'm standing there going, you got this shit covered, dude. And the cop comes up, like, it seemed like 10 minutes, but it was probably 15 seconds.
Right.
The cop comes running up and takes his boot and puts it on the guy's neck. He's face down, right? Puts it on the guy's neck, and he tells Jason, you can get up now, right?
Right.
So I look, and the cop handcuffs him and goes to stand him up. And when Jason body blocked him, his head hit like a culvert pipe, like a drainage pipe, and his forehead open, right?
That's what you get, you fucking asshole. You fucking asshole, that's what you get.
Yeah, so the funny thing was that the cop stands this guy up, and he's going over 6 foot, and Jason's standing there, and you're looking at him side by side, and Jason is like 5'4", right. And this guy is 6 foot, and the cop just starts laughing. Holy shit! I go. Then I look around, and the whole office of Merrill Lynch, which is on the first floor of this building, saw this whole shit, and all the suits are standing out there clapping. Fucking heroes, right?
That's crazy.
Yeah, so it turned out that the truck was stolen. Mm-hmm. The guy had no driver's license, of course, and they took all of our information, and next thing I know, Jason calls me. He lived, not far from me. He's like, dude, the cops are here. And I'm like, what's going on? He goes, you need to get over here. And I'm like, are we in trouble? And he's like, I don't think so, but they want this interview. And I went over there, and, the cops were like, listen, we appreciate you helping out, but we want to tell you that's not the smartest thing to do. That guy could have, you never know.
Right.
And it was like, look, we thought we were doing the right thing. I go, and meanwhile, that guy got knocked the fuck out.
Right. He got his ass handed to him by a little tiny feller.
But see, basically what happened was they wanted us to sign a document stating that the cop didn't beat the shit out of him because he was in bad shape with his head split open.
Right.
And realistically, we were liable. We could have got Jason, or the company could have got sued because, that's assault.
Yeah, that's assault, brother.
So I go, listen, man. I go, we're not obviously the type of people that just allow criminals to run by our building while we're watching our window, Right. And it all worked out in the end because the guy went to jail. We never heard anything, but we did make the local paper 2 window cleaners from Sky's the Limit catch a car thief. I'm like,
yeah,
it's pretty cool. Yeah,
we clean windows and we fight crime.
Yeah. That cool shit.
You guys are so happened. Short. You guys' name wouldn't be Batman and Robin. It'd be Bat and Rob.
Yeah, right. I know. I'll tell you what, though, he was probably one of the best window cleaners, and I'll tell you the reason is he didn't come to me with bad habits. He came to me with good work ethic from the military, and he didn't even know what a bucket was, basically. And my point being, sometimes it's just better to take someone who doesn't know anything about our industry and teach them and mentor them. I took him to the IWCA.
Dude, all you got to do is get a kid and give him a water-fed pole, and he's the best fucking window cleaner ever.
Oh, dude. No, you know what you got to do?
Get him a month subscription to WCR Facebook page. Fucking give him a water-fed pole.
YouTube. Got to get him on YouTube.
Get him on YouTube, and he's the best that's ever did it.
Yeah, hey, I got a funny story. I talked to one of my friendly competitors that's not a YouTube or Facebook guy, and he's the one that bought that flimsy-ass pole from Lamborghini, and he said that he was talking to me the other day. I was telling him about the gunslinger, trying to get him to, and he goes, they were telling me about some new bucket on a belt, and he goes, I don't really wear a bucket on a belt. I go, well, you got to check the shit out that I got. I'm not selling you anything, but I like this. And he goes, and they keep sending me these fucking links to some Kevin, the window cleaner video. And he goes, and now this is a veteran window cleaner for 30 years, he's been in business. His father was a window cleaner and still is with him. And his dad's been around for 50 years washing windows. And you're going to take this. He goes to me, I can't even get through 5 minutes of this fucking video, this ass clown. No fucking idea what he's doing. I started laughing. I go, yeah.
Kevin, did you say Kevin the window cleaner? Is that what you said?
Yeah, that's the guy. Yeah. They keep sending him the links to videos with.
Yeah, your buddy? Dude.
Yeah.
Well, he's got a new video out. We don't normally, I don't like to talk about Kevin, but he's got a video out now. He's doing a Burger King with a water-fed pole. It's like,
what?
Yeah. He's got like walk-up window. I mean, these windows, I mean, you could reach up and get the top of them with your hand. I mean, he uses a 58-inch channel, so he could reach the top of that from the ground. You know what I mean?
One of those.
Yeah, he's one of those fellas. I think he's just trying to promote a product, the over-the-top rinse bar brush. That nylon with the beast brush in the center, he's got one of those he's giving away on his channel. So if anybody wants to go to Kevin the Window Cleaner's channel, he's giving away over-the-top rinse bar brush from RHG Products. Mark has 10 of them. He thinks they're the best thing that's ever happened. He thinks Perry's constructor brush is a piece of shit. That's what he told me. I'm just kidding.
No, you know what? Here's the thing. If you have to give your shit away, get someone to pay attention to it, it's not worth a fucking... I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
Well, look, listen, no, you don't have to give them away. It's just a giveaway, you know, just to promote a product. Maybe, you know, I don't know. I think maybe he's just trying to mend fences with WCR, because now he's like WCR guy. He wasn't before. Now all of a sudden that he is. That's cool. I'm good for him. But you know, hey, I even told people go subscribe to his channel. Maybe you'll win one of the. Maybe you'll win that brush, man. Kevin's not a bad dude. He just grinds glass without a fucking respirator.
Dude, that guy knows.
He polishes glass without a respirator. Yeah. We're gonna call him Captain Silicosis.
Yeah. He's laying in the hospital and he can't breathe. Remember the fucking video that I trashed on his ass. Look, any window cleaner, and I'm gonna get shit for this, but I don't give a fuck.
All right.
Okay.
You're Mark Tanner, and who cares?
That's right, buddy. Get it right.
Yeah.
If you put a seasoned, good, traditional window cleaner on a walk-up, hand-reach window, or even something you need a 4/8 pull on with soap and squeegee, or someone standing next to him with a water-fed pull, a good window cleaner will kick his ass.
I'm busting his ass. I'm busting. Yes. I'm busting his ass, and I'm not the man. I'm just saying I'll bust his ass.
If you have to climb a ladder, that's a whole nother ballgame. To keep people off of ladders, which means anything over the second floor.
Right.
Okay, it is more efficient. Yeah. But if you're going to show up at a fucking Burger King and start plugging hoses in, even with my new fucking thing I'm building, I'm going to unreel hose.
It still takes more time.
And you're going to leave it wet. You're going to go, well, maybe. I hope it dries good.
I hope it dries good. Honestly, dude, I don't mean to bust his. I'm not trying to bust his chops. It was probably just for demonstration purposes only.
Hey, that's right, Teej. I am trying to bust.
Well, listen, I agree. If you could walk up to a fucking window and not have to climb a ladder and to clean it, then why in the fuck aren't you just getting out your squeegee? Honestly, I'm not trying to be a douche. If all you need is a 4/8 pull, then what are we doing right now? What are we doing? Unless there's like 400 sheets of glass, then I could maybe understand. You know what I mean?
I'll tell you a story that happened last week. One of my car dealerships calls me up and says they want their house done. Okay, now this guy owns the car dealership, so most likely it's going to be a decent sized home. Mm-hmm. Okay, and I go look at the house, and he says, I know you're not, commercial, or you're not residential, and I don't want it for free because you do my car dealership. I said, I'm just going to give you a better deal than I would if I came to look at your house and you weren't my customer. I said, I'm going to take care of you, but I have to, we're going to charge you. No problem. So I said to him, he says, I want a price separate for the inside and a price separate for the outside. So I said, let's do $400 on the outside and $400 on the inside. And he goes, well, I think the inside would cost more than the outside. I said, it's a fair price. He goes, the last guys that did it on the inside alone, it was 2 guys. It took them a day and a half. I go, a day and a half as in, 12, 13 hours. He goes, it was closer to the day and a half. He says, probably 14 hours. And I said, okay. And I go, it's still $400. He says, are you sure? And I said, understand this. We do buildings. I'm not Superman. My guys aren't Superman, but and then I'm saying to myself, well, what is it that they did for so fucking long? So I tell one of my guys, Mike, you see the house? Here's the pictures of it. Took a day and a half for the last company with 2 guys. He goes, "Are you kidding me?" He says, anyway, we show up at 8 o'clock in the morning, and at 12:30, we were rolling out of there. And he comes out and he says, "I just wanted to tell you, you guys are the neatest window cleaners we ever had." I'm like, "Neat?" And he goes, "We didn't have to wipe anything up behind you. You did a great job. And I can't believe you did it so fast." I go, "Well, why don't you double check the house, make sure we didn't miss something?" I said, "Because I got another 9 hours to spend here." He says, "The wife, trust me," he says, "the wife already looked. You did a brilliant job. Thank you. Here's your check. Have a nice day." My point is this. If you're not efficient at what you do, I don't care what you charge. I don't care you tell me you're making $12 a window. If it takes you all day to do that window, you still made nothing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Learn how to be efficient. If you're using an 18-inch squeegee, take off 17 inches of water. How about that?
Right.
This fucking thing, you go back and forth. What's the deal with those wagtail things, right? Like, what is these wagtails? You know? But if you think that fucking douche flipper fucking Kotex thing that's Velcroed onto the channel that you flip around, and I watch these guys. Look, there's some talent there. Yes. The way they go back and forth 117 times on a window that's 4 foot by 5 foot. Mm-hmm. I'm amazed that the squeegee's not catching fire from all the friction.
There's a few guys. Yeah, there's a few guys that use that wagtail, like Marcus Bay. He doesn't use it like you'll see some of these guys that they'll do the sides, and then they'll do the 14 moves in the center to get it to go. You know what I mean? It's Marcus uses it like he does the whole window. He uses every inch of that squeegee to do it. You know what I mean? It's not
no.
There's some people that do it well, and then there's other guys that are just doing shit that look fucking cool for YouTube. They're a bunch of fucking nerds.
You look like a fucking douche. You don't look.
You're just a bunch of fucking nerds, man. Bunch of fucking YouTube nerds.
Want to see something cool? I'm going to spend
fucking placards for their YouTube videos and shit. Bunch of fucking nerds, man.
I don't understand it. You know, I mean, God. Well, I guess to each his.
Hey, I go out of my way. Like, I just posted a YouTube video. I used an 18-inch washer, a blue rag, a fucking scraper, and an 16-inch brass squeegee on this house. I did it in like 38 minutes. You know what I mean? It's like, come on, guys. You know what I mean? You can clean if you know what the fuck you're doing. You don't need the super flippity doodah fucking thing. You don't need that. You don't have to have that. The art of window cleaning is lost on a lot of these guys. And when I say art, I mean when I say art, I mean efficiency. You know, knowing the things to do to make the job quick. It's not so much the tool, it's the guy fucking using it. You know what I mean? If you don't know how to use a regular squeegee, what the fuck are we doing here, guys? There's some really good wagtail dudes out there. I'm not hating on y'all. You know what I mean? I know there's guys out there that are buddies of mine, like Troy, DeAndre, he uses them. Marcus, he uses them. Shit, Richie Blue uses them. Those are my buddies. They're good at the way they do it. Now, I'm not talking about y'all. I'm talking about them dudes that do that fucking super duper wiggity wiggity whack shit. You know what I mean? It's clearly for YouTube. You're clearly trying to look cool. You know what I mean? Seriously. You don't look cool, though. You don't look cool, though.
No, it's not.
Mark's like, I don't understand.
I'm too old school to figure this shit out.
I'm not old school or by any means necessary. I was just taught a certain way a while ago by a dude that's used he used to stick his washer. He used to stick his fixed-handled washer in his back pocket and go up the ladder with his squeegee in his front pocket. You know what I mean? No bucket on a belt. He had a coral sponge in his a natural sea sponge in his fucking hand and a rag over his shoulder, and he hardly ever used that rag. You know what I mean? He'd get the window wet. He'd wipe the fucking edge with the sea sponge, clean it off with the squeegee, bang, done. Bang, done. Yeah. No drips anywhere. Yeah, everything looked great. You know, I don't know, dude. I don't know.
You're getting $50 a cleaning. What are you moving your fucking bed in here for? Let's fucking go.
That shit you told me the other day, we were talking on the phone and you were like, this guy's the type of guy that as soon as he pulls up on a fucking job, he's already figuring out what he's not going to do.
Like yeah.
Instead of just cleaning the windows, this fucker spends more time devising a plan on how how can I get out of here without doing all these windows.
I told you, one of my guys, I drive by this little car dealership we do. It's a privately owned used car lot. And from the road, which is a good 75 feet from the store is 75 feet back from the road, I could see where he reached up and the whole corner, dirty. Okay? So I
didn't get one corner. He just whoop.
Eddie, listen, what happened at Tropical Automotive? What do you mean? Did you lose your pole? No. I go, okay, because here's the thing, dude. I could see it from the fucking road. We call it haircutting a job. You haircut the job. Okay? I could see it from the road. So the 10 seconds that it saved you to do it that way now cost me a half hour for you to go back before they call and fix the fucking job. I said, because I'm going to tell you this. The guys that work for me clean windows. I can skip windows from my fucking couch for free. So I'm not going to pay you to skip windows.
We call it skinning. We call it skinning windows. Yeah.
Dude, I had a guy that worked for me doing piecework when I was by myself and I had some buildings and he was a great high-rise guy. But he would literally, I'd go, hey, go to Boca, start on this job. I'll meet you down there at 11. I got some morning things to do. I get there and he hadn't even been on the ropes yet he moved them 3 times to make it look like he was doing something. The building manager came out and said to me, he moved the ropes. He never climbed onto the rope, never got on this chair. And if that's the way you run your business, then you're out of here. I go, no, don't worry about it. We're going to take care of everything. And I'm like, this is a guy that I'm giving 50% of the job to because I needed the help and he needed the money. And I'm the one holding the contract. I'm the one insuring the job. I'm the one doing all the legwork and the political bullshit to get the job. And you're going to go there on a job that goes twice a year and skip a whole side of a fucking building? No, that ain't happening. You need to pack your shit.
Yeah, fuck that,
and that's
man.
what they do.
Fuck that shit.
Yeah.
I always say slow is smooth and smooth is fast, and it's always faster to do it once right than once wrong and once right. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just fucking do it right the first time. Take your time, and you know everything else. It'll be quick. Everyone's always built this fucking mountain in their brain. Just go out and clean the fucking windows.
Well, here's the thing. When you work with me, most guys are competitive by nature. We'll agree to that.
Right.
So whether you know it or they know it subconsciously, especially when they're new, they're working next to you and they're trying to keep up or they're trying to beat you, okay? And I tell them, listen, you're not going to clean like me for a long time. It might take you 3 months to get as good as you will ever be, or it might take you a year. But I would rather have 10 windows done right than 20 windows that we got to go back and fucking redo. Yep. So slow your shit down.
I just had this conversation with my sister's boyfriend. He's been working for me part-time. I've been using him a couple days a week. And he's trying to keep up with me. And I walked outside and went, listen, I see what you're trying to do with the squeegee there, and I appreciate what you're trying to do. You're trying to, do what I do, and I can appreciate that. I like the vigor, but you fucking suck, so stop doing that shit. Yeah. He's like, for real? I'm like, yeah, dude. Go back and look at those windows. He come back, he's like, my bad. I'll go back to doing it the way you showed me to do it. I was like, you'll get to that point, man. Just give yourself time. You got to get that squeegee is going to turn into an extension of your arm. It's going to be part of your body eventually. You're going to be able to do shit with that thing that you can't do now, but it's going to come in time. Just give it time, man. Yeah. Learn how to clean the window properly first. I want you to wash the window and squeegee it. I don't want you to wash the window and rag it. Because that's what I call ragging. You're not squeegeeing, you're ragging. Because you're using your squeegee, and then I see you fucking out there rubbing on the glass with a fucking rag. You're ragging. You're not squeegeeing, bro.
Well,
my name ain't T-Ragging, it's T-Squeegee.
I know that residential is different. But if you see a window cleaner that has 48 towels around his belt,
there's a problem.
There's an issue there. Let me ask you another question.
Go ahead.
You still using that Sorbo pole, All-American pole of yours, or whatever it was called?
The California Dream. No, I'm not, dickhead. You could have told me that the tips broke way before I fucking bought it. This guy, I buy this California Dream pole. I hey man, I bought a California Dream pole, and then Mark's like in my messages like 2 seconds later, he's like, I think so. The fucking tip's gonna break on it. You wasted your fucking money, buddy. It's a stiff pole. The lock is, I kind of like the lock. He goes, but the tip's going to fucking break on him. Why the fuck didn't you say something before, bro? I'm going to have my brother machine me a fucking little piece to stick down in there, and then I'm going to have a fucking Unger cone stuck on the end of that bitch for long. You wait.
Yeah. Look, if it's held up, it's a great pole, but it doesn't last.
Dude, it's stiff. It's a nice stiff pole. I like stiff poles.
Yeah. But you know, the thing has been out for 5 years now, and they've never improved it to my knowledge. That's the problem. It's like you said, go back to the drawing board with Perry and say, hey, this isn't working. And he says, why? And then someone else says it's not working. He figures it out. That pole is an expensive pole. It's a beautifully crafted pole, but it's fucking worthless in two weeks. It's done.
Yeah, the tip broke on me. Yeah, I was like, oh man, because Louis from Superb Window Cleaning, he's got a YouTube channel. You guys check that out. Subscribe to Louis' channel, Superb Window Cleaning, on YouTube. He's Mr. Sorbo. Everything he uses is Sorbo. He's got himself a California Dream pole, and he's of the mind that they've fixed something, that they changed something with the lock. But I'm not. He wasn't sure about the tips, so he's like, he bought replacement tips and he hasn't had any issues. So I don't know.
Yeah. Maybe they made it better.
I don't know. Yeah. Louis could be right, but I'm of the mind that I'm gonna give it another shot, and if it doesn't, I'm just gonna modify the pole so it works for me.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh man.
That's usually what most people do any fucking way. You know what I'm saying? You kind of rig things to get them to work. Well, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't know. It's true. But it's got to work its basics before you modify it, you know?
Right. Yeah, the basic things should be right. And if it's been out I didn't realize that it had been out for 5. See, I'm a Unger Optolock guy. I'm an Unger pole guy. I love mine. I've had the same 4.8 fucking Unger pole for like 5 years. It's just, I just like 3 or 4 days ago replaced the lock on it. It cost me like $2 for the gray insert, that slides in there. It cost me like, $3-4, I don't know, $2-3-$4, something like that, and the pole's like fucking new again. Now it gets stuck on me because I over tighten it. I'm so used to it being loose that I over tighten it, and now it's like I'm out there like, oh god, who tightened this? Which football player tightened this?
The best thing you could do with that pole, TJ, is at the end of the week when if you're not working Saturdays, you're not washing windows.
I'm working.
Take
Saturdays.
5 minutes of your time. Undo the collar, wipe all the dirt and grit out of there because it builds up, and that's what wears everything out. And if you want to spray it with something, you spray like silicone spray, not WD-40, not on the plastic, but silicone spray, and the thing will last you a lifetime.
Right.
It really will.
Right.
Do a little maintenance to it.
So you guys, go ahead. Are you? I'm sorry. I was thinking about something and it just came out again. I'm really bad with that kind of shit. Are you guys like super busy? You guys got a big day tomorrow?
No, Fridays are always relatively easy. Fridays are my residential day. I do 2 estate homes. I do 1, 2, 3 car dealerships every Friday, and a couple small restaurants. And we'll be packing up everybody probably around 12, 1 o'clock. So that's
I've got 3 fucking monsters to do tomorrow. Residential work. Oh, Jesus. I spent the whole day today finishing up my commercial stuff for the month by myself, you know what I mean? And then doing Friday's work Thursday, so I can fit all this shit in before the 4th of July. Because you know how important it is to fucking have clean windows when you're shit-faced blowing stuff up, you know? I'm going to have my windows clean, dude. You're not even going to look out those fucking windows. You're going to be outside. But I'll take the money, though. I'll take the money.
Let me ask you a question. Are fireworks legal in Ohio?
No. We sell them here. You just can't blow them up here. When I buy fireworks, I blow them off in Tennessee every year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And my great grandma's address.
So you could buy them there, but it's against the law to light them off.
Yeah. See,
we have some kind of loophole. We have fireworks stores that are open year round here, and you can buy them, but you have to sign a waiver saying you're not going to do a public display with them, whatever that means.
Right.
And so my kids don't like it anymore because we'll blow them off in front of the shop, and I bring a trash can out and make them pick up everything as it's going, when it's done, because the next day it's a fucking crepe paper mess all over the place.
Right.
And, so
like, fuck fireworks. I don't want to clean it up. That's funny.
Yeah, but we have a good time with it. We'll be home for this 4th of July, probably blowing up shit in the backyard here. I got one neighbor. Oh God, I'm gonna get myself in trouble.
You're not gonna go to camp on 4th of July? That surprises me.
You know why? Because it gets too busy out there on the 4th of July.
Okay, all right.
I'll tell you public opinion. I don't like a lot of people around me.
No.
Yeah.
Really? Not you, Mark.
But dude, you know what we do? Here's what we do. I take, if you've never heard this, you have to experience it. And if you come down, I promise I'll set one off for you.
Okay.
And don't do this at home. It's fucking dangerous. There's no doubt.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
I take my welding torches, okay? The oxygen and the acetylene.
You make acetylene bombs?
Yeah. And we get a punch ball. Punch ball?
Yeah. A punch ball, that's too big, dude. You're supposed to do balloons, not punch balls.
Yeah, oh no. I did my wife's yoga ball one time. 4 foot in fucking diameter, right? Put it this way, it blew pictures off the wall in the house. I got an old lady that lives across the street, and she comes out and she yells, "He's probably doing something illegal over there."
I tell you what, man, that reminds me, stupid shit like that. That reminds me when I was a teenager. I don't know. I was in my 20s. We were at my buddy's house, and we were all drinking, and his wife went to bed, and we ran out of firewood. So this dude was like a notorious drunkard. You know what I mean? He just a dumbass. So we ran out of firewood, and my other buddy talked him into. He's like, "Let's burn this old couch. It stinks anyways." Dude, when his wife woke up in the morning, she had I'm not shitting you. She had no furniture. We burnt everything except for the dining room table, dude, and the bed she was sleeping on. We fucking burnt everything. We stayed out of the bedroom because the door was shut. End tables, coffee table, both couches. 2 chairs, a recliner, fucking dude, just burnt everything, dude. I've never seen that guy again, by the way. We were over there at his house. I've never been over there again. And she's like, I think they might have got a divorce. I don't know, but I never saw the dude again.
I'll tell you what we do is
stupid human tricks.
I have a piece of plywood and I have some eye hooks in it, and I take a piece of paracord, thread it through the eye hooks, and pull it way far away from the balloon, right? And then on the plywood is a spring clip, So I'll fill the balloon, clip it under the spring clip, and then you just pull the rope lit, under the balloon as you're walking away. Well, last year we figured out something better. My buddy Barry showed me. You know those model rocket igniters?
Yeah.
You just tape that on the balloon, and then you set it off as if it was a model rocket. Right. Oh, it's brilliant. it's the best shit.
Kaboom!
Yeah, dude. My buddy that lives like 3 miles away calls me. He's like, "Is that you?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's me."
That's hilarious. So you guys are gonna barbecue and fucking blow up shit and do all that America stuff? You gonna shoot any guns?
No, I don't. You know what? I love shooting my guns, but I hate cleaning them.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
I'm a stickler about maintenance on things. So, like we'll go to camp and sometimes shoot, and then I come home and they're like, "Oh, we'll do it tomorrow." No, the guns are getting cleaned now, and disassemble them, clean them, and everything. I did get some cool snake shot, 380 snake shot for camp, because there does tend to be some snakes out there, and we were playing around with it, shooting into the puddles to see the spread on it and everything. Pretty cool stuff. So I shot a couple weekends ago, but now I'm all about the safety of shooting stuff in the yard. I mean, I don't have many people in my street, but I'd rather blow up an acetylene balloon or a punch ball.
Right. I don't think I've gone and shot. I don't think I've been to the range in probably 8 or 9 months.
Yeah.
I just ain't had the time to do anything like it, like nice or, have fun at all. I plan on having fun on the 4th, the 4th of July. I'm going to have some fun on the 4th of July. I'm going to drink me a few cervezas and light some things on fire. Yeah, it's going to be cool. I'm going to give away a gunslinger. I'm giving away a super custom one-off. No one. It'll be the only one like it of its kind gunslinger. It's gonna be super sweet.
I saw those patriotic ones. Those are nice.
Oh yeah. Tim's giving away one of those on his channel. You're a subscriber, right, Mark? Tim.
Yeah.
You could end up with a third gunslinger like a douche. Watch Mark Tanner win them both.
I'll do all three at the same time. Yeah.
Well, man, we've been doing this for an hour and 30 minutes, an hour and 20 minutes. So, I mean, is there anything you'd like to say before we wrap this up?
No, I think it's been fun as usual, and I appreciate the opportunity to come on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still waiting for some of the other clowns.
You're not coming on. This is essentially part of your show now.
I'm in.
Yeah,
I'm in.
This is part of your show now, Tim. And when we get Tim and Josh back, Josh, I don't even know. Josh has disappeared off the face of the earth. Josh cleans windows all day. He moonlights as Batman, fucking cleaning hoods at night. I don't even know how the dude's doing it.
Dude, that hood cleaning is the nastiest, dirtiest
job.
thing.
Oh my god, dude. Ugh. That shit's nasty, man. That's a lot. That's a dirty fucking job, man.
We have companies by me, and I don't know how Tim does it, but they go in and they replace, they bring in another set of filters and just change them out, and then they clean them. I guess in some kind of machine. I don't know, but I knew a guy that I used to have a warehouse down south where we do our projects, and he's actually a window cleaner, and he started doing. And he would blow those greasy things off in the fucking parking lot. And I'm like, dude, that shit stinks. It's slippery. You're fucking destroying this place.
Right.
I mean, you got to stop. That's fucking nasty, man.
Well, Josh has posted videos of where they got plastic lined up and it goes into a can, and then they fucking, got the hood there, and they clean the vent hood. Dude.
Yeah.
Dude. It's just like it looks like motor oil running off. You know what I mean? It's fucking awful. Dude, that's got to be you got to take that home with you. There's no getting that off of you. You know what I mean? You'd have to be wearing a fucking Tyvek suit, right? A full Tyvek suit.
Yeah, it's like working at McDonald's. You go home smelling like fucking French fries every day.
Yeah. I used to work in a slaughterhouse. I used to we used to disassemble pigs. And I couldn't eat pork the whole time I worked there. That was one of my first jobs out of high school. I couldn't do pork ever. I mean, it was like almost a year before I touched a piece of bacon like sausage.
Let me ask you. So wait a minute, Josh. I'm making sure I got everybody lined up here. Washes windows, cleans hoods, and picks up dog shit.
Yes, all three. The trifecta. Trifecta. I don't know how.
Yeah.
I don't know how he does what he does. He just does it.
Well, more power to him if he can keep that kind of schedule.
Yeah. And Tim has been running a 2-dude crew and should be running a 5-man. As much, dude. I can't keep up. So I've been sending people the old ignore button. I just can't do it because some people are just so they can't take no for an answer, and their expectations are so unrealistic. You know what I mean? It's just like, come on, man. Come on, guys.
You can't. You gotta. We've discussed this before. I mean, everybody. I know I've been a lot more aggressive when I was younger, and I told you when I was working 6 days a week by myself, and coming home and not realizing my kid's growing up, and I'm not going to get to see this. That you bite the bullet and you add some help, and hopefully it all works. But I mean, dude, unless you're going to become a millionaire, retire in 10 years, that kind of pace is just going to burn you out,
Well, I finally bit the bullet this year and finally hired, like I said, my sister's boyfriend part-time, got him on part-time. I mean,
yeah,
it's only, he's a little under 30 hours a week, but,
But Do you send him on his own, or you work with him?
No, we work together.
Yeah. The hard hurdle that I had was, okay, TJ, you bought a business and you've built it and you do it a certain way. And the hardest part for me anyway was, like, for instance, I've had this movie theater for 10 years. Now I'm going to put someone there that's worked the job with me. He knows what I do. He knows what he needs to do.
But you're not
but
there.
Yeah, that's hard.
Yeah, that's that's going to be a tough transition for me.
Well, it has to be the right person.
Mm-hmm.
You got to constantly dangle that carrot, the light at the end of the tunnel in front of them to keep them motivated.
I guess that's just I guess that's just a situation where when you find that person, you're going to know.
Yeah,
this is the guy. You know what I mean? This is the guy here. Yeah.
And then you start to get the attitude like I have now, that I'm not a fucking babysitter. Okay, and I'm not running a circus. I'm not a ringleader. You're expected to do this, and I'm not gonna fucking. If I got to follow you around to see if you did something, then I might as well do it myself, and you're out of the fucking job.
Well, I've gotten to the point with Jeremy now that I don't have to worry about it. I've already scolded him enough times to be like, dude, do you want to be the fucking guy that can't fucking clean windows? Do you want me to tell my sister that you can't even clean a fucking window? Is that what you want to be, that guy?
Look, here's what I would suggest.
And he's doing a good job, man. So he's finally wrapped his head around the fact that just take your time and do the job right. He's finally wrapped his head around it. So
here's what I would suggest to you. I did this and it worked for me. When you get Jeremy to a point that he's doing the right job, okay, and let's say on the day that you have all your restaurants, okay, let's say you got 3 of them in one day, whatever, you start at the same time, okay, we're going to start at 8 o'clock in the morning, Jeremy, and you're going to do these 2 restaurants here, I'm going to do these 2, and then we're going to meet at 10 o'clock and work together for the rest of the day. Then you start getting them acclimated and have the responsibility to make sure that job is done right, okay, and treat them well and praise them. Hey, man, I went by, the chicken joint and everything looked great. You're doing a great job. Thank you. That goes really far with employees. And then give them a little more and give them a little more and give them a little more until, not that you could put them loose.
I try and say the things that I always wanted to hear when I worked for somebody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, man, dude, fuck, look what I just did. I mean, shit, I get a paycheck, so I ain't looking at you to suck me off, but at least be like, cool, good job, dude. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? At least that, you know what I'm saying? So I try and be, give positive reinforcement. And when I try to show, I do have a level of patience, and I'm more of the type of, like, I would rather do it twice, show you twice, and you get it right from here on out, then, you know what I mean? And then instead of being like, you fucking dumbass, I just, that shit don't work, dude. It really don't.
Eventually you get to a point, TJ, where because let's be real, when you start to do, the ultimate job, at least for me, is monthlies. I love monthly jobs. Generally, you're going to get a decent price for it. It's scheduled every month, okay? I try to get all my monthlies done the first 12 days, 15 days of the month, and they're behind me, and I don't have to worry about them. And then I have room for anything else that might come in, during the rest of the month. But start to give them the responsibility, say, hey, I'm not going to come this time. I want you to do it, and I expect it to be right. And, I don't know if you do signature slips, but for me, anything over $100 a month,
yes,
and I'm not there, they get a sign off, okay? And he better make sure that when he gets that signature that he's done the right job.
Right.
Right. And it protects you and it protects him. I'm not a huge fan of sign-offs. The business I bought was loaded full of sign-offs. And that was not because to keep tail on the employees. That was because he had screwed the customer around so many times. That's what he had to do to keep him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we didn't even know he's here. And you send me a bill. And the windows don't look good. Or he skipped half the job. So, at the end of the month, we got stacks of those things. And like with my big furniture store account, I voluntarily get the signature slips. That way I can keep track of when it was done and everything else, and for invoicing. And this way, if they come and say, well, when was it done? I don't have to look at the calendar or any notes I might have. It's right there.
Right.
And if they say, well, he he didn't, do the inside. Well, no, we did everything we could. We don't move furniture. Oh, yeah. Here's the signature, and it's checked off that he did the inside. So you cover your ass. They'll respect that. I mean, and it's also a way behind the scenes for you to track what he's doing.
Right.
Because if you give them the opportunity if you give them opportunity to fuck around, chances are they're going to fuck around.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. I had a guy come to me and he says he didn't get his hours in. He's the only hourly guy, and he didn't get his hours in, so his check didn't get processed. And really bothered me probably more than him. And I'm like, dude, you got to have your hours in on Thursday. That's it. If you don't, you're not getting paid. And then the next week he goes, hey man, when the gas bill comes, I owe you $54. I go, $54? What are you talking about? He says, well, I was out of money and I bought a bunch of hot dogs and shit at the gas station. I go, are you fucking kidding me, dude? I go, the simple thing is turning in your timesheet on Thursday, and you couldn't do that, and you're eating fucking hot dogs from a rolling fucking thing at the gas station, feeding your family fucking hot dogs. This is a fucked up world we live in here.
Like, hey, bro, I had to go to Speedway, and I bought all the roller dogs because my family was hungry. What?
Yeah.
Turn in your time slip, brother.
I'm like, I hope you shit your brains out from all those fucking hot dogs.
Right.
Yeah. Well, man, and I go, you know what? I appreciate your honesty.
Yeah, it's you got to start to question a guy that's like willing to feed his, like, I'm not going to turn my time slip on time, but I'm eating fucking roller dogs all week.
I'll be like, either you can't get your timesheet in on time, or you prefer cylindrical meats.
It's one of the two. Well, Mark, on that note, it has been a pleasure as always. I know we talked about some your cart, your little skid deal that you got. That's coming along pretty nicely. I can't wait to see that in its finished stage. That's going to be pretty fucking cool.
I should have it
into his own hands, guys.
Yeah, I should have it done this weekend. I got to finish weld it and then send it out for powder coating. That'll take a day. And I should have it up and running for next week. I've already got a job that I need to use it on some skylights at a mall that doesn't have water. And it'll go right into service. And then, like I said, TJ, I get it all done. We'll refine it up. If you like what you see and you want one, it's going to cost you money to ship it, but I'd be happy to put one together for you.
All I need you to do is sell me the blueprint, and I'll fucking have my brother make it. My brother's really good with metal. My brother's a welder and a machinist. So
okay, but let me clear one thing up. That statement was from me to you. I'm not selling anything. So
yeah. All you other dudes don't. Yeah, no.
If I sold you something, and you...
It's a fucking piece of shit.
Yeah. Slow down, motherfucker.
It's a fucking piece of shit.
Yeah, what's the closest airport to where you are, motherfucker?
Yeah. This thing's a fucking piece of shit. I'm going to get on Facebook and tell everybody it's a fucking piece of shit. Get a life, you fucks you.
Take me out of my misery.
Jesus. Yeah. Well, we're about to. Anyway, we're gonna the next time we're gonna come on all dressed up as the Gucci brothers. It should be cool.
I just sent my loafers out for polishing. I should have them back. That way I could display them when I come up with a new better portable.
If this dude listens to this and he hears it, he might be mad that we pick on him occasionally. Hey man, you shouldn't have posted that fucking picture. Sit here in my $600 Gucci loafers. Get on my level. You drop me off in the jungle, I'll come out with Gucci loafers and a headband, a rattlesnake headband.
Some people get satisfaction. Yeah, that's my Brady boy.
Can he hear me?
What's that?
He can't hear me, can he?
No, he can't hear you. He's just running around like an idiot.
That's a good-looking dog. Brady's a good-looking dog.
Yeah, he's come around. My wife works on. He would be a coon hound. Any hound dog is a. You have labs, so
yeah.
You'll refer to this because I have labs too. labs are pleasing dogs. They want to please their master.
Yes.
You know, I had a yellow lab that I could walk her without a leash and stop walking. She'd sit next to me and practically smile like, look what I just did for you. And hound dogs.
Right. They don't give a shit. They don't give a fuck. What are you doing? Whatever I want.
Yeah. They are just, they're loyal.
I had a black and tan and a beagle, and both of them, they just did whatever the fuck they wanted. They were good dogs. They just, I'm like, don't do that. And they'd be like, all right, well, I'm going to go back to doing that.
No, it is amazing the personalities that they have, but my wife works with them a lot, so he's under control. That's but, it's always a challenge with that one. He's like the kid that rode the short bus and really belonged,
Well, if you guys want, you guys can go to outlawwindowcleaner.com and buy you some black diamond squeegee rubber, some legend channels, some t-shirts. You know the fucking deal, man.
Yeah, man. I want to try out the black diamond.
Yeah, man, you should, man. It's decent rubber. You might like it, but you order shit in bulk. You know what I mean? You're a bulk fella. Yeah. So when you say try it out, you mean what do you mean, like 400 pieces?
No. I learned my lesson with stuff like that. I would buy a dozen. I buy 2 or 3 gross a year of Sorbo rubber. I would like to. Now, let me ask you one question and be honest. I've tried alternate rubber, and I don't know what brand it was, but
in a Sorbo channel?
In a Sorbo channel, and they tend to not be as thick and just a little bit thinner. They slide past the clips. Does it fit nice?
That's good. Yeah. That fits good. I like it. I like the stuff. I think it lasts longer than the Sorbo stuff. I hate saying that, but it's the truth. It lasts a little bit longer.
Yeah, I'd give it a go because, you got to remember, TJ.
It fits the channel real good. Now, I have noticed that the Black Diamond round top rubber, I have a hard time getting it in my Unger Brass channel. I don't know if that's because my channel's bent or something, so it might be a little difficult to get in there. But outside of that, it fits nice in the Sorbos, really nice. So,
did you ever drill your channel out?
No, I haven't gotten around to it. Well, I just now bought the one with the plastic end tips on it, and now that's like my most favorite thing I ever fucking had. So now, dude, I like it way better than the regular Sorbo channels. It's way better than the.
Dude, you can hammer into the edges and not mess up.
Not mess up at all. At all. It takes all the guesswork, and it goes nice into the corners. It's fucking sweet, man. So I missed the boat on that one. So I'm gonna. Can you put those plastic clips in any Sorbo channel? Or
no, because
they're specially designed for the channel that they come with. Okay,
90% sure. And let me tell you another thing. You can replace those end plastic pieces. On a rare occasion, I've heard of people breaking them. But look, I've had the same one for 10 years, and it's never been an issue.
Right.
We're just better off to replace the channel because getting those plastic things out, man, Sorbo puts them in with. There's like 3 areas that need to be compressed at the same time in order to get it to slide out. You're gonna mutilate it trying to get it out. So just
to buy another channel. I tell you what, the most likely the holes in the channel will come next. I will say this: I did drill holes in my washer.
Yeah, that worked out for you.
Oh yes. Yes.
Did you put the zip ties on it too?
Yeah, no, I haven't done the zip ties yet. I'm like on the fence about that. I'm like, man, I'm poking holes in my shit. But the other day, Jeremy come around the corner and he's like, dude, this fucking thing keeps flopping around. And I'm like, oh, okay, Mark. So I think we're gonna implement that. Yes. I actually went out and bought some zip ties yesterday. So I've got a nice container of zip ties. I'm ready to go. So.
Yeah. No. I was working at a job yesterday, and a woman that was cleaning the house, she has these stainless steel doors on the house, and she says, where do you get those green microfiber washer covers? And I told her, online, and she's like, I go, why? You wash windows? No, but I use them I put Sheila Shine on them, and I use them on the metal doors, and they seem to spread the Sheila Shine much more even than, the other ones I've tried. And I'm like, you know what? I got a whole... This one is like 6 months old. I had to cut my zip ties off. I wring it out real good. I go, here, wash it and use it for your shield shine. I'll just replace it. Oh my God, that's so nice. And I'm like, nah, I helped you out. It's all good, you know. And she was like, why are you cutting the? You have zip ties? I go, we're not going to get into that, honey. You're just putting.
Yeah, just take this.
I don't need to give you the.
Yeah. Take this. Shut up.
Yeah. But I did make a modification to the Sorbo channel, because originally when I started drilling my channels, I was drilling the brass, and where you drill the brass on the bottom, it really drains well. Well, after I had spoke to you, I was looking at my Sorbo channel, and where I showed you to drill the holes, though it works, I'll have to show you on the next podcast, but I actually drilled not only in the bottom, because the problem with the Sorbo is the angle that it comes out, the holes don't face in a direction where it drains really well. So on the inside of the squeegee, the part that sits on the glass, right? So here's your rubber up here. On this back side, there's an indentation. So I basically cross-drilled. Everywhere I had a hole in the bottom, I drilled through the back and tied the holes in together. So now it's got double the holes, but it drains so much better. So on the next podcast, I'll pull that rubber out and show you
I'd like to see that. Yeah, I'd like to see that.
Yeah, one of my guys used it today, and he goes, how come you got to modify everything? I said, it's not modified, it's improved, buddy.
Yeah.
Do I get one of those? You don't. You don't. So anyway, on that note, let's wrap it up.
All right, fellas. Yep.
And Outlaws, and I'm going to order some Black Diamond rubber on your website, maybe a couple shirts. I got that cool-ass shirt, man. I wore that shirt to work. Dude, I got like 3 compliments.
Oh yeah. Tim, Tim designs those, right? That's Tim that does that. Yeah.
He's badass.
Yeah. Tim does that all by himself. Tim, my long lost partner, that fucking douchebaggio that never comes on anymore. I'm giving him shit every chance I get and shame his ass to get back on here. He's just so busy, man.
Not to bring up old shit, but did he ever get his? I know he got his channel back.
Yeah, he got barred from YouTube. I don't know what happened with that. I don't know. He hasn't spoke on it. A couple of weeks have passed since all that shit has happened, and him and I just honestly, no shit, guys. We have really said just shit in passing to each other. All we're doing is like current events. I haven't even asked him. We haven't sat down and talked about nothing. So, I know we went through some new things that I'm doing and that I want to put up on Outlaw Window Cleaner. That he's interested in too. A new little swing on things, and that's about it. You know what I mean? He hasn't really said. I know he's got another YouTube channel now that but I don't know. Either way, like he said, it's, I'm not, fuck it, whatever. Fuck, Luke the Window Cleaner's a fucking douchebag. WCR, those guys are fucking douchebags. I don't give a shit. People can I'm going to get like 3 thumbs down because those 3 dudes are all going to watch this and be like, oh, thumbs down. Eat a dick. Eat a whole bag of dicks. Don't eat the whole thing. Choke on, I want you to leave 2 in the bag so we know you choked on one of them at least. We want, you fuck you.
Yeah.
But that whole deal was bullshit, dude. What they did to that dude was straight bullshit, man. I'm gonna report you because you're picking on me. You're a douche. Stop being a dick. Yeah. That's the thing. Yeah. This guy's got the guy's got 5,000 subscribers. They don't really pay attention to the little fucking shitty things that he says and does to people is what people miss. You know what I'm saying? They just see his little fancy fucking flickety-doo-dah videos and that stupid fucking beard.
Well, I gotta ask.
Stupid fucking face. No, I'm just kidding, man.
You're never gonna see me placing a video of me rebuilding a transmission, because guess what, DJ? What? I don't know how to rebuild a fucking transmission.
Right.
Okay? On shit, they have no fucking idea what they're doing.
Yeah.
And that's fucking...
he honestly doesn't seem like a bad dude. He's a decent window cleaner. I'm not saying he's not a decent window cleaner. I just think he's kind of a shitty dude. You know what I mean? You're just a shitty person. You know what I mean?
Is he another Ohioan? You all got a lot of window cleaners.
No. He's from Missouri or Kansas City, Missouri or some shit. Something like that. I don't know. I've been privy to some of his private conversations and shit like that. The dude is just a fucking douche, man. He's a dickhead. Straight up. I mean, like I said, he's got a successful channel. The guy can clean windows. He can spit a line of shit. You know what I mean? So, you know, and the Lamborghinis dudes fucking love him. And now they got that fucking Kevin the window cleaner dude jerking them off now. It's just like, come on, bro. Jesus. And that dude is like a snooze a fucking second there, man. That dude's a snooze fest. Here I am at Burger King with the over-the-top rinse bar. Yeah.
I'm getting $30 cleaning.
Yeah, man. I'm going to get a lot of shit for saying that, but I don't give a fuck. Here, it's Kevin the window cleaner here at Burger King. We're water-fed pulling these windows at Burger King. As you could see, I could easily touch the window, but I'm going to water-fed pull it.
Yeah. Watch as the hose gets hooked on every sprinkler head in the fucking
Watch me fight this hose through the little shrubs on the ground.
Dude, I was working the other day place, and I was dragging my remember I showed you the recipe of how to make a brass fitting to replace that plastic bullshit.
Yeah.
And I don't put a clamp on that barb. It fits nice and tight on the Rhino hose.
Right.
So I go around the corner. Do you know that Rhino hose will stretch like 58 times?
Yes.
I go around the corner, right? And I'm pulling the fucking hose because I'm like, one more window type thing, you know? Right. And you're like, I'll just pull it. It'll come around the corner. It's probably stuck on a fucking lizard, you know? And I'm fucking pulling it. And I'm pulling it, and I'm pulling it. Right. And, dude, it comes off of the barb. Well, I can tell you this. I think it almost broke the sound barrier. It came so fucking fast, and it whipped me. And first thing I did, it's like when a little kid wrecks on a bicycle, you look around and make sure no one saw.
Dude, I almost pulled my hydro cart off my truck by pulling the fucking Rhino hose.
Fucking my God!
I come around. I hear my buddy Jeremy that used to work with me a while ago when we used to work together. He comes up, dude, stop! I'm like, well, you're getting ready to pull the fucking machine out of the truck. I was like, dude, I just need another foot. He's like, you gotta stop. Let me back the truck up.
I was pulling that so hard it was like the diameter of a piece of fucking thread, and when it let loose, shit.
Oh, hey, Kevin, man. Kevin the window cleaner, I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry, bro. Don't be mad at me, man. Just fucking clean those windows. This is what got me, is the fact that you can see in the background there's like a second story of Burger King windows. He could have used the water-fed pole on instead of, I mean, come on, bro.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Well, guess what?
It's too easy for us to mess with you.
Here's the thing. Look at it like this. You're a fucking window cleaner. And you know what?
What?
Outside the realm of Facebook and these few pages and the few thousand people that do this, nobody gives a fuck. They don't. No. Yeah. You see fucking plumbers going, look at this badass plunger I got. Come on. What the fuck? Yeah.
Dude, I make videos, and I'm clowning. Dude, this is entertainment for me. When I get on YouTube, I make YouTube window cleaning videos. I'm not like, step 1, doody-doo to the doody-doo. Step 2. I'm just like, man, I'm cleaning these windows. It's fucking hot. Look at my fat ass. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but dude, the funny thing is, it's not only YouTube. It's just a regular Facebook page. Yeah. You get something to see in some fucking the arrow, click it, and then all of a sudden, you're like, "Hey, watch this technique." What the fuck? What are you thinking?
Yeah.
Holy shit!
I don't know, man. You gotta learn how to use the flick properly, sir.
I'm still looking for the best video on how to use and what the fuck actually is a sill brush. You know?
Oh, yeah. I'm looking for one of those, too, man. What is a sill brush? I'm looking for that as well. Jesus.
Yeah.
They always got something. It's always something, man. You could use, like, any kind of brush if you wanted, guys. You don't really need the sill brush. You know what a sill brush is, Mark? It's a fucking brush you use on a sill.
Oh, I explained it.
Hey. It could be any brush, but you just got to use it on a sill. That's what it is, Mark.
Look, again, I'm commercial, so
it could be a toothbrush, but it's a sill brush if you use it on a sill.
You see these guys that have a bucket. Show me what you carry to work, and you're like, is there any room in that bucket for any amount of fucking water?
Right. That's what Todd Ford was the other day. He goes, "Are you a clean bucket guy or a swamp bucket guy?"
Yeah.
It's like, dude, how many fucking what? I mean, you got your Mountain Dew, your Chaw in there. Half a gallon of water, a scraper, a pack of blades, fucking the newspaper. You know what I mean? A half a sub sandwich. What the fuck is going on in your bucket, dude?
Yeah, what's that down in the bottom of the? Oh, that's a rat trap. In case I come across a rat while I'm cleaning the fuck.
That's it, man. We're out of here. Hey, this has been Outlaw Window Cleaner, and we had fun. I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. Me and Mark are now we're just talking shit. We're just gonna be mean. We gotta get out of here before we're too mean. We'll see you guys again soon. Hey, Mark, you have a nice weekend, sir.
You too, buddy. Enjoy you guys enjoy the 4th and don't blow yourself up.
Yeah, we'll try not to. Peace.
Outlaw Window Cleaner Radio, reminding you to get your black diamond squeegee rubbers at www.outlawwindowcleaner.com. Oh yeah, and Luke's still a bitch.